Hello. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to live alone. I keep talking on this topic, but I wrote something here. I appear to be a weak man, but I live like this in order to protect my son. And also, I don't like working. So the responsible spouse went to work. Oh, I know. What happened was the spouse speaks Spanish, and I wanted to sit down and read books with her. However, that didn't work out because the spouse is a person that does not sit down. She's like the road runner. Go, 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 go. So when we moved up here, I told her, I was driving. She said, take me to the post office. And then she says, go buy me the stamps. I said, you have to speak in English. You go buy the stamps. She said, no. Then I said, okay, I took the keys. I'm not moving the car until you go over there and buy the stamps. So she got out of the car, but she had panic attacks when she had to speak English. And she bought the stamps. She came back and she was laughing. And I said, see, it wasn't so hard. It was easy, right? And she said that she bought the stamps from the machine. But that's how it is when you're an immigrant and you come to the United States and you have to learn English. You have to be courageous every day. You got to do things that you're afraid of. And so I gave her tough love. However, some people don't like the way I give tough love. I could tell them it's tough love, I'm going to do this, but they don't understand. And so I told her, sit down, read a book with me. Like, here's one. My first Spanish word book. However, the words are in English and Spanish, so you could learn something. Just get your vocabulary going. 100 words. And I told her, learn, read with me, read with me. And so I was always begging. So she said, no. And she would walk off. Go that way, go this way. So I said, all right. I'll fix you. And I remember that a Mexican co-worker, he was from Mexico, he was a valet, and he told me that he speaks more English than his wife. And I said, oh. And then he says, she's home with the kids all day. But he told me that she had gone through 6 levels at the Miami-Dade Community College. 6 levels of English. And she still didn't speak any English. Because what happens is, you're with your own kids every day if you're a woman and you stay home from work. And he says, I have to learn words. Get the car. Okay, right away, sir. The valet would learn words, and he would ask around, what do I say when they say put the groceries, what does he mean? The groceries are in the trunk. All right, it means they're in the back of the. Oh, okay. And then he would go back and get the car from the garage, or from the garage he would go to the garage where he parked the car. So he would learn English that way. So the biggest thing I did for the spouse was I taught her English. I actually put her to work. By my not working, she said, we have bills. And I pretended I didn't care about the bills. I do care. But she spent $100,000 without my opinion. I mean, it's not Yes, the only thing we did do together was we moved out of Miami. I wanted to be a good dad and leave the girlfriends, and I wanted to have a house with 3 bedrooms and so on, instead of a condo with 2 bedrooms. And the maintenance kept going up higher and higher, and I was not earning any money. And I was mentioning to her, I cannot make it. I have two jobs already at 6.50 an hour and 7 an hour and 7.25. I'm not making enough money to pay the bills. This is in the year 2000. And then I said, my coworker says I qualify for food stamps. And then I went to the food stamp place and they said, where's the spouse? Where's the female? I'm like, oh, she didn't come to this country to ask for food stamps. She says she's not coming. I didn't tell him that part, but so, well, if she doesn't want to come, then we can't give it to her. So that's the government, right? The food stamp office. If the girl doesn't go and apply, then if you go as a man, they're not going to give it to you. So what ended up happening was we moved up here, and that was the only thing that we agreed on. We had different. I had wanted one real estate agent. She wanted another. I wanted this house. She wanted the other one. She wanted this one. I wanted that city. She wanted this city. We live in this city. I wanted a pickup truck. She bought a minivan. Then, no, I told her, check the oil. I'm going to show you how to do it. Oh, no, you do it. I'm a woman. I said, all right. So nobody did it. And the minivan died. I'm like, so what? Doesn't bother me. So now she bought a new one. I used one. Both of them were used. But it's a minivan. It's not a pickup truck. You want me to check the oil? No. Now she's asked me, please help teach me to check the oil. So I'm a hero. I taught her how to check the oil. And CarMax did a very bad thing. They have this 200 checks that they check the car all over the place. Well, in the first car, the minivan, the jack did work, but the tire wouldn't go down. And they said, oh, it's been more than 30 days. And it was just that I was checking it 30 days later. I said, we're not going to do anything about that. So I paid $30 to some guy at a gas station that, a mechanic. He actually fixed it. He just cut it and put it in the trunk of the minivan. And then this time when she drove home, of course, I didn't go. I didn't even know where they had gone, you know. I thought they went shopping, and she had gone. Yeah, she went shopping for a car. And she drove home with it. And it was stinking up. It was overheating. So I asked her if she had checked the coolant. She said no. So after a while, after it cooled down, we checked the coolant. There was no coolant in there. I'm like, so she took it back. She added coolant, and then she drove it the next day to the CarMax, and then they checked everything, supposedly, right? But meanwhile, they gave her a loaner. They loaned her a car. And 3 days later, she went to get the minivan again. But the point is, if you're married, you're supposed to do things together, not independent. So I wanted the spouse to learn English. She did learn English, but she would not sit down and read with me. So I stopped. Well, I just never got a job up here. Well, I did for a little bit, substitute. But if you work with the school board, one good thing is your paychecks come on time. Now, I never figured it out because they said that they have like 3 paychecks a month, and it's every 2 weeks. So how does that go? I never knew if they were paying me or not. If you're just starting out, man, you need a payroll calendar, you know, and you got to go to the office over there all the way to downtown, wherever they're at, and learn to read the payroll check. you're paying me from this date to this date. Okay. And some jobs are only 4 hours. Some of them were 6 hours. So that went up and down. Oh, and everywhere you have a job, that's the thing. That's why I want to be a mechanic, or a carpenter, somebody, but independent. Where I wish everybody was independent, because this way, you want me to fix your car? Sure, $200. I'll be ready tomorrow. And then plus the parts. And then you fix the car, the person pays you, boom, you're happy, the customer's happy. But when it goes like, oh, I'll pay you in 2 weeks, and then that check is messed up. If you're a security guard, you're going to mess them up. So the school board is a good paycheck, as far as like it'll be on time, and you could actually talk to somebody that will be polite and professional. Whereas if you go to work at some of these offices that some of these security guard companies, man, you got to drive an hour and a half to get there, and then you got to make an appointment, and then maybe they don't see you. You go see them, there's nobody there, the payroll person isn't there. Bunch of... I can see why some people get angry and go postal when they go back and they take the law into their own hands and they shoot up people and things like that. I could see why. Now, at the same time, the lady in Miami from Allied Barton that didn't, she said, well, the company's been sold. It used to be Barton, now it's Allied Barton, and so we're not going to pay you. The company's been sold. I'm like, sometimes you don't know what to do. But she was also very aggressive, and I had never been with a verbally aggressive office person. Why are you reporting it now? I said, I reported the first paycheck last week. Now I'm reporting this one because, what, you get paid almost a month later. And she says, why didn't you did you know about it last week? Yes, I knew about it, but I wanted you to make sure that this one was correct. And so that, and what ended up happening over there is they didn't pay me. I worked at a condo, and then I got transferred because the new boss didn't like me. The old boss was sent to some other building, and so I had nobody to prove that I had worked those hours, so I copied the book where we sign in, but now I see what she was doing. She didn't bill those hours. She didn't collect the money for those hours from the condo association where the security guard company worked. And that's why she covered herself up by saying, well, we didn't collect that money and I'm going to get in trouble if I pay you this money, so I'm not paying you. So, yeah, of course, you feel like you're being robbed, and you are. So the best advice for every single person in the world is to be an independent mechanic. Fix your own car. Everybody else likes you. That's just the best. A carpenter, a plumber, an electrician, a computer expert that fixes computers. You got to be independent. And the schools, like I tell my kids, what you're learning right now in school, comma, period, what else? History, all of that stuff, that's good to know. However, what I want you to learn is carpentry, plumbing, electricity, mechanics, robotics, electronics, how to put a fan, That's a new fan. That's my new fan. the mother paid for it, and a carpenter installed it. And there was already one up there. He just changed it. The chain had broken, and I mean, in Honduras, somebody would have fixed it, the old one. So what you got to do with your life is live alone and have your own business or be independent in some way. It could be an accountant and you could hire people, but the thing is, the education we're getting in elementary school and high school is garbage. As far as money skills, you need money skills. That's why I make all of these videos for young people. Otherwise, you're going to be like me, living off your mother and the spouse. At the beginning, she wouldn't throw me away. She didn't speak English. Now she speaks English, but I'm pretty good with the kids, at least with one of them. The other one is coming around little by little. She's like a teenager and doesn't, what else is she do? No, I don't want to learn Tai Chi. All right, so all right. I grew up in an ugly place. People attacked you, and when they punched me in the ear with his right hand, right, with my left ear, on the street, walking home from Sears. I didn't take the bus because I wanted to save the money, I was a saver. I was sixth grade. And I got glasses when I was in sixth grade, and I really didn't like them because, number one, I could see the blackboard. But I didn't understand English, and I didn't understand the questions that the optometrist asked me. And then, if I said the wrong letter, it was either a Spanish letter or an English letter. I didn't know. And so I flunked the test. But that was really flunking it because of not because of the glasses. I didn't need them. But of course, no one listens. My mother never listened. Very strict dictator woman, the same as the spouse here. They're both dictators. There's another word for it in parenting, the 4 types of parenting. I'm permissive, dictator, is it autocratic? I forgot. Dictator. No. Their automatic is no. No smile, very serious, no! Very, gosh, what can I do? That's why I stay here, so I can protect my son. Mom, no! And then I say, excuse me, sir. I used to just interrupt and talk in front of her, in front of the spouse, and say, son, please, wait until your mother is in a happy mood. Which, when is she in a happy mood? She's got a husband that doesn't work. So then, after I got Baker acted, I said, I'm not allowed to speak. Like, I'm an open book. I could talk to you about my penis, my toenails. I could talk to you about life. But I don't do that because several people around here, number one, they'll cut the internet, but this is my hobby, talking to you. So I told my son, every time that I hear like arguing and things or yelling, I just boom. I'm lightning. I'm faster than the Roadrunner at those moments. But I make sure that this time I don't come with an assertive. I'll use the word assertive because some people say you're not being assertive. You're being a strong man. Like a Marine Corps or Army yelling and all that. Don't talk like that to my son. Ha! Some people think that that's wrong when I do those things. So I don't do them anymore because I could get Baker acted again. The police, they agree with your spouse if you do that. So what I do is I go over there and I say, "Sir," and he's looking at me, I'm looking at him, and I'm holding onto his shoulders. "I would like to speak to you, please. Will you please follow me now?" Now, if he's crying, then I'm different. Then I just say, "Get on my back and I want to talk to you." And then when I get over there, private area, outside the house sometimes, I say, "Look, if I start fighting with your mother, I will end up where? So don't make her fight with me. And what should you do?" And then he says something like, "I should take a shower," which is what they're arguing about. I said, "Just do it. It's over. She won't yell at me for not telling you to take a shower if I don't tell you. So just do it. Get it over with. Everything will be smooth and comfortable. And I told you to stay next to me, because I already know if your dad is at the playground, the other kids are not going to bother you. They're not, because your dad is there." All right. Take good care of yourself. Be a better man than I am. Enjoy your life.